So I'm just putting some pine resin from the beautiful trees that are on this land here. We're sitting in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This is the land of the Tewa Winga, and also the Pueblo people are north of here as well. And so we're just honoring the first peoples of this land. And beautifully, this is where Rachel and I now live, in this beautiful temple space. And it's also the headquarters and temple space of Katori Life as well, which is, we're really grateful and honored to be invited and hosted to collaborate here today with our dear sister Holly Dakota, who's sitting here doing some tech stuff for us on camera. There she is. And you know, something that, so we're cross-pollinating communities here. We have the Katori Life community, and we have Rachel Rossito's community, and the All Matters of Spirit community. And, you know, and we also have so many beautiful beings that have, that are already like so integrated in all of our worlds. And so we're happy to be here in collaboration together. Holly is a dear, dear sister of mine and of both of ours. And, you know, her and I have known each other now for, I don't even know, like 5 or 6 years, 6 years, 7 years. Yeah. And you know, we've actually, all three of us, been pilgrimaging together to sacred sites and lands and places. And you know, something that you may not know about Holly, because she's kind of more behind the scenes, but she's a very deep ritual sister and priestess sister of ours. And is why so much of the beautiful adornment that is created for Katori Life has such a deep, powerful tone and resonance to it, because she creates from that place as an artist. And so we all love to wear her adornments and all of the gems and jewels that come out of Katori Life, because it comes with that deep resonance of the sacred, of creating things for our bodies to be dressed as temples and as sacred vessels. And so it's really beautiful that we get to kick off this first ritual today as the theme of honoring the sacred vessel, because it really does, you know, adornment can come from that place of really an honoring of our vessel and an honoring of this body and this gift as given from the mother and from the divine and from the elemental spirits. And so yeah, we're just really excited to be here. And Rachel, you'd like to share something too?
Oh, just how much I love adornment and how fun it is to wear jewelry and things that are pretty, but how deeply meaningful it is to wear things that hold meaning and that hold energy, and that are pieces that we can work with and infuse with our intentions and our prayers. And I feel so grateful to have found these incredible pieces and have worn them on new moons and full moons and in ritual and in ceremony and on hard days and challenging days and beautiful days, and just all of it just is so special and reminds me of what I value and the relationship that we have to the divine and to the sacred and to nature and to the beauty of being a woman or having this physical form to be able to adorn. So feeling very, very grateful.
And it's like interesting if I think about too, you know, all this visiting of and pilgrimaging to sacred sites, which, you know, we've all been to Egypt together, and we've been to France together, and, you know, made offerings in the temples and the caves and the churches, and put a lot of prayers and been in ceremony a lot in those spaces. And I'm always very cognizant of the things that I'm wearing when I'm going to these places, because they're holding and recording so much of the energy that's being transmitted as we move through time and space, and we pray and we visit temple and we spend such deep time touching, you know, different realms and dimensions, and these pieces become charged with all of that energy and become very, very special. And so it's nice to start to think about how what the things we carry on our person and body, and how we dress ourselves, and how we honor that place, and how we walk. And so, yeah, it's just really special and sacred that we get to come into this collaboration, and that we all work together, and that we all love to pray together and be in ritual together, and that we get to now share this space with you all. So thank you all for coming and for being here. And yeah.
So we're going to start by doing a very short grounding meditation, just to connect with this moment, with our breath, to connect with everyone here in the ceremony. And then from there, we're going to talk about the moon. Tomorrow is the new moon, and it's a very powerful one. And so we're going to share a little bit about what's happening in the stars and what's moving. Maybe you're feeling some intensity or some tiredness or some inspiration. So we're going to share a little bit about that, and then guide you through a journey, ritual, to help you connect even more with this energy and to really move with it. So often when we are not paying attention, that's when it can kind of really take us through a deep experience. But if we're able to move with the energies of the moon and really work with them in a skillful way, it can help support the whole rest of the month and the cycle to come. And then we'll take you through a little journaling practice, and then we will close and you'll be on your way.
Mm-hmm. So if anyone has any burning resins or incense or anything that they would like to burn in their space, if you haven't already started to do that, please feel free. There's some different things we have on the altar here: some red sandalwood, a Venus blend from Glastonbury, and I'm just gonna put some Venus blend to honor this new moon in Taurus here for you all. And if you don't have any burning blends, then you can just get a little virtual cleansing and just close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep breath and just breathe that purification in that moment, to just clear and cleanse and set this space and allow ourselves to step into the realms of intention and prayer and the sacred. Together we get to be divine beings ordained for this time and this space and this moment.
Also, if you have an anointing oil, perhaps rose, frankincense, can be really beautiful to take some and place it on your wrists or on your temples, and just take a little journey with scent.
And Taurus is so much about stepping into our sensual expression and grounding into the realms of earthy pleasures. And this is the Akasha anointing oil from Katori Life that Dakota blended and made. Can you share with us what's in here?
Yeah, this one is Egyptian neroli, sweetgrass and balm of Gilead.
Egyptian neroli, sweetgrass and balm of Gilead.
I love Taurus for this reason, just this invitation to evoke our sensuality and allow ourselves to really enjoy each sensory experience, from scent to taste to touch. So you can close your eyes and place your hands comfortably in your lap, allowing your body to get heavy as you take a full deep breath in through the nose. Long deep breath out through the mouth. Another breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And one more full deep breath in, expanding in the belly, the rib cage, all the way up to the upper chest as you expand to the back of the body, the back of the heart. And exhale, letting it go. And continuing to find a natural rhythm of breath in and out through the nose. Really feeling the sensation as the air goes in through the nostrils, expands inside of your body, and then returns to the space around your body. Noticing any sensations. If the temperature is cool or warm. If it's pleasant or unpleasant. Without judging, just noticing. And what's going on inside of your body. Any physical sensations. Just allowing them to be. Noticing any emotions that arise. Some pleasant or unpleasant, just allowing them to be as they are. Bringing awareness to the mind, the thoughts. Perhaps there's a lot of thought, a lot of activity. Or perhaps this is the first moment of stillness you felt all day. Whatever it is, just noticing and seeing if you can, just for this moment, accept it as it is, completely perfect as it is. Allowing yourself to be held by the earth. Held by us in this ceremony, this beautiful circle. Allowing yourself to be held by you, by your own body, your own awareness, your own love. And bringing your palms together at the center of your heart and bowing. Bowing to the moon, the cycles, the great mystery. Bowing to your innermost self that has brought you here to receive, to enjoy, to delight in this moment, this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh. Blessed be.
Thank you, Rachel. So with this presence we find ourselves in, we cast a net around the web of life, honoring all that brings us to this moment, all that has gifted us the miracle of existence. To the Holy of Holies, to the Heavenly Father that watches over us from above. To the Holy of Holies, to the Earthly Mother that holds us from below. To the air as the miracle of our breath, the fire as our great spirit and illuminator, to the living waters of our blood and womb, to the body in this holy temple that is this mountain. Here we reside in the center. May all that is shared in this space, spoken in this space, may all thoughts be for the highest good and the good of all beings. May we sanctify this container with love, with presence, with joy, with delight in all that resides and exists around us in time and space. We honor our ancestors and all that has come to pass to lead us to this moment. We also call in the goddesses, Hathor here on the altar, the Divine Mother, the one who feeds and nourishes all of life, all of the Divine Mothers, to all of the mothers that are here on this call today, to those that have birthed life into this world. We honor the mothers. We honor Venus and Aphrodite and those goddesses that bring us sensuality and pleasure and love and beauty. Thank you so much for being with us here at this time. May we walk in a good way, and may these prayers and this time together honor the life of all beings and be for the good of all.
Thank you.
You're fine.
Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good to be together. It feels so good to take this moment to just slow down and feel and breathe and be and remember and be in reverence and just tune inward. I don't know about any of you, but it's been a really intense few weeks. Been feeling just a lot of movement, a lot of intensity, a lot of just like boiling, a lot of like, yeah, almost discomfort in a lot of ways. And I'm so grateful for these moments that we can just bring it all here. Tomorrow is the new moon. And for those of you who aren't so familiar with the moon and the cycle and why we are honoring the new moon, in most feminine wisdom traditions, we track the cycles of the moon. And the reason for that is because the length of the moon cycle is almost exactly the same as our moon cycle. And the moon, as we know, moves the tides. And as women, we're very affected by the waters and by the waxing and waning of the moon. And I'm sure many of you find yourself often bleeding with the new moon or with the full moon, perhaps somewhere in between. But we are completely in relation with the moon, whether we're conscious of it or not, we are. And when we start to track the moon and we pay attention to when she's full and when she's dark, as she is right now, and we tune into the energies and the movement of the cosmos, we can start to really feel what's happening inside of us and work and move with those energies in a way that's of service and that helps to support the way that we feel and the way that we offer our gifts and the way that we relate to others and the way that we take care of our bodies and ourselves. And what I love about the new moon is it always reminds me that it's just important to rest and reset and reflect as it is to be in action, to do and to create. And that actually it's the new moon that really anchors our prayers, and we press our intentions and our visions and the things that we long for most into the dark, fertile soil of the new moon. And then we watch them as they expand and they grow and they take shape and form and blossom into fruition as we come into the full moon. And so today is really about slowing down. It's about going in. It's about honoring the dark night. You know, so often in many religious traditions and even just in the reality, the world we live in, we're afraid of the dark. There's like this feeling that the dark is bad and whatever. And it's just because it's unknown. It's because we don't understand it. We can't see it. It's not tangible. So we kind of, fear it in a way. But as we learn to honor the dark, to celebrate the dark, to see it as an important aspect of the full cycle of life. It is the soil, it's the darkness that allows for life to be what it is. And then when life is full, it's really that surrendering and trusting as things decompose and they turn into compost and they become soil and they become nourishment for the next cycle. So that's really what we're here in this moment, is really honoring the new moon. And there's some really interesting things that are happening in the stars right now. One is, well, first of all, we're in the new moon in Taurus, and Taurus is all about grounding. It is all about foundation. It's an earth sign. So it's a time that we can reflect on our inner structures, a time to reflect and to refine our relationship to our finances and our resources. It's a time to deepen in our practice, our routine, the way that we show up to life with consistency and stability, even when things are wavering and emotions and all the things are happening. It's like that anchor that really tethers us to this physical body, our home, our root. So if you feel like the energy of Aries, right, which is fire, which is all like about igniting and transmutation and purification and, that spark that really helps to get projects going and energy to move. You can think of Taurus as like this more feminine energy that just takes all of that and then grounds it in reality. And so Taurus is more of a feminine sign. It invites us to kind of go from more action-oriented doing to being and to allowing and to watching things unfold and really be in that sort of sweet acceptance of what is. So there's a few other things I'd love to just put into the field as we're reflecting on this moment. One, Mercury went direct last week, so woohoo! Or as our friends like to say, Mercury goes in retro upgrade. So sometimes we're like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, and it can feel challenging to be communicating or dealing with technology or these certain things, but these planets go backwards because then they help us to propel forward in an even more aligned way. So, we always bless these moments of retro upgrade, but we are out of that cycle. So things are moving forward in that sense. And then the other interesting thing is that Jupiter, which is the planet, our largest planet in the solar system, which is all about luck and expansion, and Jupiter brings us so many blessings, went from Aries into Taurus. So, and it's in Taurus for the next year. So everything that we're doing today, that we're calling in, that we're moving through, that we're really anchoring in our own daily lives and our practice, our bodies, is also expanding if we so allow it. But it's very important to note that, it expands what is. So if you find that there's a lot of like turmoil or challenge, or things are out of alignment, it may expand that. So this is a really beautiful time to be aware of maybe, because we did pass through these eclipses that churned up a lot of energy, to really work with this Taurus energy to ground all of that, to realign, to reset. So for this next year, when Jupiter is expanding in the sign of Taurus, which is all about relationships and finances and structure and sensuality and all of these things, that it's expanding the right things, and it's expanding the things that we want to expand, not the ways in which we have maybe not given so much attention or care or love to. So never a time to judge. It's just new moon is about reflection. It's about observing, reflecting, seeing what is, and then coming into deeper awareness and love. The last thing I'll share before I pass it on to Baelyn is Taurus loves and really celebrates small steps. Taurus is like a slow moving being. So if you feel like, oh my God, my life is a total shit show right now, and things are really out of alignment, small, deliberate, intentional steps go a long way. So if you are feeling overwhelmed or feeling like, where do I even begin? This is where you begin. And it's these small steps that really help to turn the tide and turn the compass in the direction towards your North Star in a way that, allows for more beauty and grace and truth to unfurl and reveal itself.
Right on. That's really good. Yeah, beautiful. I just echo all of that Rachel just shared just so eloquently and beautifully. And it's just, stimulating reflections too around, this. It's like that spark of Aries, and we're moving into the Taurian energy, and it's like that foundation, and it's also like our body, and our body is our. It is literally like the flesh bone structure of our entire being, and how we move through the world and how we function. And so self-care and really coming into slowing things down, as Rachel was sharing, and really starting to turn our attention into the present moment and allowing the senses. Taurus is such a sensual expression of Earth. And, Aries and Taurus are the first two signs in the whole entire astrological wheel. So Aries starts it off with that earth and that spark of fire. And then, as Rachel was sharing, that Taurus grounds that everything into reality. And it's really like our first kind of like it's like birthing ourselves into actual form and body, and taking that spark of spirit and like putting it into a vessel and putting it into form. And, it's interesting because some of the oldest beings that are alive on this planet are always, oftentimes the slowest moving beings, like we can think of tortoises or even, trees. And like those slow moving beings teach us so much, because it reminds us that if we actually slow down and we come into that alignment with our form, with structure, with vessel, that it actually can help preserve and conserve so much energy. And so using, when we're in all of this, like, the upheaval of the eclipses, and we're like, all this energy is churning, so much energy can rise up and out into the mind. And we can so often want to like transcend so much and just kind of like go out of form. But in actuality, what we're being called to do is dive deeper into form and actually honor, which is part of the ritual we're going to do today, really honor our vessel and our body and our form as a way to connect us more deeply to the potency and miraculous expression that is this life. And using our senses to bring us into presence when everything's rising too much into the mind, or we're starting to get critical or self-judgmental, or we're like, like things are feeling like they're spiraling out of control. A really, easy and quick way to bring ourselves into the focus of this moment is to just tune back into our senses. What are we smelling? What are we feeling? How are we, when we eat, we like to really eat. We like to nourish in a way that brings joy and resonance to our actual the cellular flow and frequency of our body. And so all of that sensory experience, because we are sensual beings, we're beings that sense through time and space and record so much of our experience through our senses. And so all of that sensuality can really help ground our energy and simplify things so that we can remember to see what's present around us, take in smells that are nourishing and nutritive and delightful, bring beauty into our field around us so that we can actually, when we open our eyes and we look at things, we can, it can bring us into being in gratitude for the miracle of life, for, the enlightenment of the plants and for all of the elements. And so just, taking this time to really, in any moment, the Taurian energy can be present in our field. It doesn't have to be the season of Taurus, right? That we can work with this energy of sensuality to ground us more deeply into our physical existence, and to starting to honor that physical existence with, our prayers and our gratitude and our love and adoration and devotion that's coming from a place of not coveting, but actually just really being in reverence for the miracle of life, and really coming into a deep reverence and beauty around what it means to be alive in a form, in a vessel, to be able to taste things, touch things, see color, the richness of all of this magic that we have around us, and starting to be more aware of actually consciously placing magic in those ways. Like, it's like we love flowers on all of our altars, and like it's true, it's like flower day in our home temple space is the thing. We get all these flowers, or and right now spring is blossoming and blooming, and so all the flowers are coming out, and nature saying, I am here, I am rich, I am glorious and colorful, please look, lean in, smell, take in, fall in love, right? It's like, how can we fall more deeply in love with the divine and all of the simple miracles that are occurring around us at all times? Sometimes I walked in and I saw these irises blooming out there, and I was like, holy majesty, what are these miracles? They're just so majestic, queens, sitting out there in the garden. And I was like, wow, to be greeted by such a thing. I was just in awe, right? So this is that energy of going more deeply into that the majesty of life, really, and seeing that the royal color, the royal richness, the royal kingdom and queendom that is blossoming and flourishing and unfolding in and around us at all times.
So beautiful. I love what you're sharing, which is when we're more attuned to the senses, then it inspires us to slow down. And when we slow down, we can take in more. And I was just, as you were speaking, I was reflecting on abundance. And so how often we live in this society where we move fast, where we eat fast, where we do things fast, and we're filling, but we're not actually letting it sink in and become us. And that when we move slower, we actually absorb more, and we see how abundant we are and how much we really have when we look around and say oh my gosh, the majesty is everywhere. And just allowing ourselves to fill just with the simplicity, with the simple practice of watching a flower, smelling a flower, tracking the sun and the light, and just these looking into the eyes of someone we love. It's simple, but it's deep and it's rich, and it's actually making me giggle a little bit, because I'm remembering this was many, many years ago. I had this boyfriend, and I remember we were just in this moment, and I really wanted his attention. I was having a Taurus moment where I was like, I wanted to, and I was like moving. I'm an Aries, so I was like moving around the house really fast, and I was like doing this and doing that. I was like huffing and puffing and all like, like in a vibe. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do something. I'm gonna slow down, and I'm just gonna move really slowly and just see what happens. So he was like watching TV or something, and I remember like walking by the TV and like walking really slow, and then like I was like putting on my shoes really slowly, and like everything I did was just really slow. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh hey, and like engaged me. And I just was like, it was such a little practice of mine, but it was this interesting experiment as like not only sensually, like as we experience the world, but also as a woman, when we tune into our own sensual nature, that when we slow down and bring our lover into that space of slowness, it's such a gift for them, because then they get to take you in this way that is like a gift, and they slow down and they receive, and it just becomes this very beautiful tantric dance of appreciation and presence and awareness. Because as a woman, that's what we want, right? We want their presence, we want their love, and we want to offer that in return. And we do that by being that. So yeah, that invitation to slow down. Speaking of slowing down, there's one other thing that I wanted to bring to mind, which is the shadow side of Taurus energy, which can be being kind of stubborn. Anyone here stubborn? It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to, and it just this like this energy that we get to be aware of. We get to breathe with, we get to soften, we get to allow that slowness to be a way of calibrating our internal realms, but also being aware of, am I being too hard? Am I being too rigid? Am I being too stuck in my ways? And when I think of the energy of stubborn, it's very much like comes from the mind, right? It's like we have some idea of how something should be, and we want it to be that way. And if it's not, we get in a tizzy. So it's like, for me, that reminder of going back to the body and taking a bath, going for a walk, and allowing that Taurus energy to really move through the body and not get too locked up in the head. The other shadow of Taurus can be being stagnant. Like the earth energy can move so slow that then we become lethargic, we can become lazy, we can become avoidant of the things that we need to get done. So the beauty of this and the way, and the brilliant way that the zodiac works, is that we move through the elements. So we go from fire to earth, but this weekend we move into the sign of Gemini. So we're actually moving into air sign, which is like so it will move energy. So just holding that lightly and knowing that this is a really beautiful time to anchor what needs to be anchored as we're moving into an air sign, which can create more as she frames it. But energy that's really a little bit up here. You know what I'm saying?
It's really that. It's like
so now even more important to ground, so that if you are grounded, the beautiful symbol of the oak tree is such a useful one, because the deeper the roots, the taller the branches, and like the breeze can either knock us over if we're not really strong in vertical plane, or it can like tickle our leaves, and it can bring this beautiful breath of fresh air, and it can create movement, and actually allows us to dance. So it's like, how can we work with this energy of grounding that allows for that beautiful dance of spring and summertime as we like march towards the solstice, which is exactly in 1 month. The new moon in exactly 1 month will also be the solstice. Are we going to like tumble there and like be like holding on for dear life? Or can we stay really anchored and focused and in our center, so that it becomes a dance of joy and a dance of pleasure?
beautiful. So just taking a deep breath for a moment. And just grounding in all of that information that was just shared, and all of the reflections or places where those some of the things that were shared hit for you in a resonate or resound in a way that feels personal to you. And we're gonna do a sacred honoring ritual, honoring the body as a vessel, and through honoring this body as a vessel, we honor life, we honor the earth, and this ritual is written out and will be shared on the Katori Life Journal. So it's something that you can all continue to return to, and we'll go through it in the ways that that will guide it today. And also, this becomes a very personal thing that you can continue to work with over time and evolve, and really could literally drop into at any moment. It could be as elaborate as using anointing oils, flowers, water. If you ever find yourself in front of a body of water, you can call upon this, and you can just do whatever you sort of remember and start to make it your own, and use your own words to call upon and honor the gift of this life and the different layers of this physical vessel, as an act and a prayer of adoration to the earth, to the mother, and really making and starting to allow this vessel to become a vehicle for the divine and an offering of service to life, to miracles, to divinity, right? So anytime that we're starting to forget, right, taking ourselves for granted, not caring for ourselves in a way that we feel we deeply need to self-nourish, right? Sometimes we get so hard on ourselves, or we're moving and pummeling through time and space, or overworking, or we're just lost in trains of like old patterns of habit thinking, which is a lot of stuff that was coming up around this moon. Is how can we break those patterns, those habitual patterns that we fall into. And oftentimes those habitual patterns have a lot to do with like how we create, just how we really put a lot of destruction, we face a lot of destruction and discord towards ourselves, that we have so many like negative thoughts, or like critical thinking, or judgmental things that we place onto ourselves and then onto the world around us. And a lot of it is subconscious. It's like it's thought patterns that are just there because of social structures, because of unhealthy ways of growing up, because of not, being loved enough, because of not being taught how to love, because we're not taught in this society and culture really how to care and honor and love each other. So here we are, and we have the opportunity to start to break some of those patterns away and start to bring ourselves into really finding that love for ourselves. Because if we can place that love so deeply onto ourselves, we can also start to share that love more deeply with others. And usually, oftentimes when we're short or curt, or we say things that we later resent to others in time and space, it's often because we're just tired, hungry. It's like usually the simple survivalist things, right? I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm scared for my survival, whatever it is, right? It's like, if we could really break it down to a primal level, oftentimes, if we just took a moment to tune in and nourish and ground and put some love into our own vessel and do onto ourselves as we also want to do onto others, then we can start to open up this feeling of gratitude, this stream of abundance and abundant blessings, and feed those to ourselves, so that we can learn how to navigate the world around us with much more grace and bounty and beauty. So I'm going to walk you through this one, and then, please, as much as you want to carry this with you, you can find yourself, just resituate and make sure you're feeling comfortable. You can literally just use your hands, this beautiful sacred tools that are always with us in any time and space. If you have an anointing oil or something you want to work with, you can use that. You can also use a flower. Oftentimes I like to do this with, we like to do this with a rose, because the way the rose is shaped, it's such a beautiful flower and shape to bless our bodies with, or peonies or dahlias, or whatever your favorite flower is. You can also take this and you can use flowers, or even water, can do this with water as well. But I'm just going to use my hands today as we're grounding into this vessel, and I'm just going to use my hands as my sacred tools. Okay. So just take a moment and bring your eyes to close. And just find that grounding place, that meditative space around you, that place that Rachel so beautifully guided us to at the beginning of this call. Allowing your body to feel heavy in this moment. Just taking in any sounds around you. Just listening. Maybe you can start to tune in to the sound of your own breath, breathing in and exhaling. And breathing a little more deeper, bringing ourselves into this moment. With my in-breath, I gather myself, all of my pieces, all of my thoughts, all of my energy into this moment. As I exhale, I breathe out, anchoring myself, sending the roots of my own tree down into the ground. Another deep breath in. Filling the lungs, gathering yourself into this space, into this vessel. Exhaling audibly through the mouth. Anchoring ourselves into this moment. And one more time, breathing in. And exhaling audibly with sound, if you'd like, out the mouth. And then together we'll just do 3 mahs, the tone ma. Bringing ourselves into the frequency of the mother. So breathing in. Ma. One more time. Ma. And a third time. Ma. Place your hands on your heart, your left hand under your right. Just thanking yourself in this moment. Now gently opening our eyes, we can start to rub our hands together. Just bringing some energy and chi and life force into your palms. Keep rubbing. And you can pause, and then we can all say together, through honoring my body,
Through honoring my body
as sacred vessel,
as sacred vessel,
I honor the earth.
I honor the earth.
We can bring our palms or whatever tool we have with us to our eyes. We begin. We can say all of these out loud. You can repeat after me. I honor my eyes.
I honor my eyes.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of vision.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of vision.
May I see clearly
May I see clearly
the beauty of your creation.
the beauty of your creation.
Breathe in. Exhaling. Bringing our hands to our ears. I honor my ears.
I honor my ears.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of sound.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of sound.
May I listen closely
May I listen closely
and hear the beauty of your song.
and hear the beauty of your song.
Take a deep breath in. Exhaling. And touch your nose. I honor my nose.
I honor my nose.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of breath.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of breath.
May I smell the sweetness
May I smell the sweetness
of your fragrance carried on the winds.
of your fragrances carried on the winds.
Take a deep breath. Exhale. And bring your hands to your mouth. I honor my mouth
I honor my mouth
and also my throat.
and also my throat.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of speech.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of speech.
May I speak words of kindness
And speak words of kindness
and love to all of your children.
and love to all of your children.
Taking a deep breath. Exhaling. Now we can run our hands down our arms and all the way to touch each other. And you can feel your arms or your palms as much as you like as you say this. I honor my arms
I honor my arms
and my hands.
and my hands.
Thank you, Mother, for allowing me to touch.
Thank you, Mother, for allowing me to touch.
May my hands do good deeds
May my hands do good deeds
and weave beauty into the world.
and weave beauty into the world.
Take a deep breath. Exhale. We can bring our hands to our heart. I honor my heart.
I honor my heart.
Thank you, Mother, for gifting me life.
Thank you, Mother, for gifting me life.
May the rivers of my blood run bright,
May the rivers of blood run bright,
healing the lines of my ancestors.
healing the lines of my ancestors.
May I honor my feelings,
May I honor my feelings,
allowing my emotions to flow
allowing my emotions to flow
without causing suffering to others.
without causing suffering to others.
Take a deep breath. Exhale. And bring our hands to our womb. I honor my womb.
I honor my womb.
Thank you, Mother, for gifting me the ability to create.
Thank you, Mother, for gifting me the ability to create.
May my creations align in harmony
May my creations align in harmony
with all of life,
with all of life,
and may beauty blossom in and around me.
and may beauty blossom in and around me.
Take a deep breath. Bringing our hands to our hips and also our sex or our yonis. Just honoring this beautiful cauldron. I honor my hips and my sex.
I honor my hips and my sex.
Thank you, Mother, for gifting me pleasure.
Thank you, Mother, for gifting me pleasure.
May I feel your ecstasy pulsing through me.
May I feel your ecstasy pulsing through me.
And may I be overflowing with your abundant generosity.
May I be overflowing with your abundant generosity.
Take a deep breath. Exhale. Now our legs. Beautiful legs. I honor my legs.
I honor my legs.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of movement.
Thank you, Mother, for the gift of movement.
May I dance through life feeling vital and strong.
May I dance through life feeling vital and strong.
Take a deep breath. Exhale. We go to our feet. I honor my feet.
I honor my feet.
Thank you, Mother, for allowing me to walk.
Thank you, Mother, for allowing me to walk.
May each step I take on this path
May each step I take on this path
be in service to the divine.
be in service to the divine.
Take a deep breath. Running our hands all the way along up our body, all the places we've passed, all the way. And we come to our third eye. I honor my third eye.
I honor my third eye.
Thank you, Mother, for insight and guidance.
Thank you, Mother, for insight and guidance.
May this eye open
May this eye open
and the unseen come into clarity and focus.
and the unseen come into clarity and focus.
Taking a deep breath. And moving to our crown. I honor my crown.
I honor my crown.
Thank you, Mother, for connecting me to the heavens.
Thank you, Mother, for connecting me to the heavens.
May my will be aligned with the will of the divine,
May my will be aligned with the will of the divine.
and may my life be in service to the highest good.
May my life be in service to the highest good
and the good of all beings.
and the good of all beings.
Take a deep breath. If there's anywhere else that you want to place your hands and bring extra attention and honoring, if there's any other words you'd like to speak into your space in devotion and adoration to this vessel, please do so now. Just sitting a moment and just feeling the vibrations or any sensations that are present. And just feeling your energy, feeling the quality of your breath, feeling the sensations in your palms or all the places that you just spoke loving words of devotion and gratitude towards. And just honoring and thanking all of us here as vessels of consciousness for honoring the miracle that is this life, the beautiful ability it is for us to be in a body. It's such a blessing, and we all are honoring all of our ancestors and everything that has come to pass and all of our children and all that is yet to be by taking a moment to really put some love and care onto our own form, into all these gifts that are given. Just remembering together.
Thank you, Baelyn. That felt so good.
And I want to share too that, like I shared in the beginning, I just, kind of channeled these prayers as they were coming and tuning into the moon and to the places and things that feel personal also to me, and words that feel potent and strong for me. So, like, as I said, like, really, you can take this and make it your own. And, when you're putting on oils after getting out of the bath, or you're just taking, or even when you wake up in the morning and we're just taking a moment to really wake up and just like remember that this is such a precious miracle to be alive. And it's so, easy to just take a moment to just honor these gifts and think really about the opportunity that we have through the senses and through the different body parts that we have with us, to really place our attention on how they are in such deep service and devotion to us, and how they perform so much for us. And sometimes there's places that are in pain or hurt or just need more attention and need our love, or sometimes things that we take for granted or we feel like are hinder us, or that bring about some kind of disability in our life. And the more we put love and acceptance and beauty into those spaces and embrace ourselves as whole beings, the more that we just become holy, and we really start to honor ourselves as holy beings, and we really start to heal and become whole. And that, if we all took time to do that for ourselves, we would raise different children and honor our loved ones differently, and just little by little, with just that simple attention and awareness onto these gifts, it really gives us an opportunity to start to see the world differently and feel the world differently. So I just want to encourage you all to make it your own, and play with that, honoring the body as a sacred vessel. Anytime we forget, it's so easy to just remember, wow, what a miracle it is to see. Oh my God, like color, what a miracle it is to taste, what a miracle it is to breathe, to smell. Like, it's like, just, it's amazing what we are capable of. So.
Thank you. I really felt that at my feet. When I was holding my feet, I just wanted to start crying. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. One practice that I've been starting to do again, I did it many years ago and then stopped for a while, is putting oils on your feet at night, like frankincense or rose or whatever you feel called to, but it can feel so grounding and such a sweet, kind way to anoint yourself before you go to sleep. And the other practice too, just to name, is Abhyanga, as Baelyn was so beautifully saying, that practice of like appreciating your body. Abhyanga is an Ayurvedic technique where you warm oils and you massage them on your skin, and Abhyanga means like warm. It's like warm oil. It's like love. So it's like you're massaging love into your body and into your skin. Just such a beautiful thought. Just as we just did, just really appreciating and pouring that love into the body can be literally life-changing, as doing Abhyanga has been for me, especially when traveling, especially, you know, when we're going through season changes and life changes and we're feeling like we really need to ground, to like saturate your entire body in oil. Feels divine. Thank you so much for that. We're going to do a very short journaling practice, just a few minutes. So if you want to grab your journals, I'd also love to hear if you want to put in the box which body part you felt like needed the most love. I'd love to hear. Put that in there. And then after a few minutes of journaling, we're going to have the last 15 minutes for anyone to share. If anyone wants to ask questions or share something about their experience or anything like that, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, hips.
Hips, some hips.
Hips, womb, hips, wombs, hips, feet and crown.
Feet, crown.
Profound.
Yes, hips and
Wombs,
sex,
yeah.
womb,
Arms.
root. Yeah, so beautiful. It's so cool to become aware of that. Sometimes we don't even know.
Hips and back. Oh, yeah.
Nose.
Love to your beautiful toddler. The nose, yeah. Such a tool.
So the journal prompts are: what brings you pleasure? What brings you pleasure? And the second one is: I find nourishment in my life when. So you can write like, what brings me pleasure is ... and I find nourishment in my life when. We'll take about 2 minutes or so. So free writing, just pen to paper, see what comes up, what wants to be known in this moment of reflection. Brett says, my womb, I'm almost 9 months pregnant and my baby was moving and grooving. Woohoo! Awesome. There's one more journal prompt, and that's: I feel most grounded when. So reflecting on when you feel most grounded, stable, relaxed.
Yeah, often when we're relaxed and grounded is when we actually have the opportunity to experience more pleasure. And so it's like, how can we find these cues in our subconscious writing that can give us some ideas of what we want? How can we honor and ground and relax ourselves so we can open ourselves to more pleasure in this life, to receive more nutrients and nourishment, and really, really, truly receive life.
I find nourishment in my life when so I just typed the 3 journal prompts in the chat box if you'd like to reference them or write them down or screen grab them to flesh out more later tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, you could take 5 minutes, just stream of conscious writing, 5 minutes on each of these prompts, and just really go deep into what brings you pleasure, what makes you feel grounded and relaxed, what makes you feel nourished in your life. Like when you are feeling nourished, what does that feel like? What does that look like? So we'll bring this to a pause for now, but feel free to write more and continue to muse and reflect on these as the new moon portal continues to unfold tomorrow and even as it wanes on Saturday. And just because I remembered right now and I don't want to forget because that can happen. We asked you to bring a bowl of water to the space and grab water in the beginning. So if you do have that water close to you, if you've been drinking it, that's great. But if you still have some left, or if it's there in a sacred vessel, like we have water in our beautiful ceremonial goblets here. But water is such a record keeper, and so when we're in ritual and ceremony, it's always nice to have water present with us, because the water can really receive all of the intentions, the energy, the prayers, and we can take a little sip of that water for ourselves to drink in the actual.
And if you'd like, you can blow your breath, offer your breath to the water. It's kind of a nice way of connecting your spirit, your energy, your life force, and offering that to the water as you take it in. So I like to give it my breath 3 times. You can do this also if you make an offering of tobacco or flowers to the earth. Give it your breath and offer it.
And so with the water that is left, we take some for ourselves to nourish and bring that all of this energy that we create here together in ceremony and ritual into our body. We're literally drinking in the energy of this moment and the prayers, and the water was sitting there just listening and taking in and receiving and recording, and then save some an abundant amount, and you can pick a plant or go outside and offer it somewhere in nature, to a tree that you love, or to a plant that you're feeding or nurturing. And you could even put a little bit in the bowl of your pets, your dogs or your kitties, your sacred 4-leggeds, or give a little bit to your children, and then offer some to nature, and offer those prayers and blessings to the earth.
You can also take a few little droplets and anoint your centers, or if you take a bath tonight. You want to put a little bit in your bath and just like bask in the ceremonial waters. That can be really lovely too. Okay.
So before we close, we just love to give a moment to hear some voices. We have a beautiful, abundant amount of beings here, so we'll only get to hear from a few, but those sharings can be sharings for the collective. And so if anyone has anything they'd like to share in reflection or bring into the space, we invite you to unmute and just give us a little distilled essence so that we can allow a few people to share their voice, and then we'll close the circle in the space in a good way so that we can wrap the ceremony up all together.
Give thanks for the blessing. So grateful. Beautiful words, sound power, beautiful energy. So grateful.
Thank you.
Love.
Thank you.
Love
Nat.
from Hawaii.
Yay!
Which island are you on?
Maui.
Beautiful. We've all spent quite a bit of time in Hawaii.
Sacred land, sacred land.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Natalie, I was with you girls at the Heartbeat Retreat in Orcas Island in 2016.
Wow.
I wanted to say hi to both of you girls. I love you so much. I love your words of wisdom. I am working through the serpent south of the medicine wheel, doing a lot of shedding, and I have had a lot wrapped up with my voice. And for me to just speak to the container with gratitude and say hi to you girls takes a lot. And I just wanted to express my voice of gratitude and my love to you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your voice. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful. So beautiful to see you again.
Thank you, sisters.
Anyone else would like to share? You're more than welcome to share the magic of your speech into the space.
Hi, I'm from the Philippines, and this is the first time that I've done this. And I've never felt so relaxed in a very long time. I really wanted to do this often because the hustle and the bustle of a working mom. So now I have an idea. So thank you so much for bringing this to us.
Beautiful. Yes, such an honor.
Thank you. Thank you
Hello
for
to the
tuning in.
Philippines. Yeah.
Yes.
Sending so much love to the Philippines.
Thank you. Thank you, beautiful sisters. Thank you for everyone here. I'm just putting my daughter to sleep, but she actually wanted to stay in and experience the medicine. And she wanted to say thank you, and so do I. And I'm so touched. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Christine.
I was working in the garden a little bit today, and I was already feeling drawn to that grounding energy, and I didn't know what it was. So it was just so beautiful to hear that that's what this new moon is about. And I already felt like naturally being pulled I thought about, oh, do I need a workout class? What is it? And then no, I was like, no, I just want to give my dog a bath and be in my yard and tidy up little things around the garden. And that's what I did. And then now I have this call and that practice, honoring each part was just so nourishing for me. And I just feel like I've had the most beautiful grounding afternoon, and sending so much love to everyone on this call and to you, Rachel and Baelyn. Thank you so much. This was beautiful. And I'm going to end my night with a bath, I think. So thank you.
You make me want to get in the garden this
Yeah.
weekend. We should get some plants.
Yes,
Get our
100%.
hands dirty.
Do it.
Sending love to you, Shazier. She said she's in bed with a
Aw.
cold and this was the
Aw.
only thing she wanted to do.
Aw, I love you, Shazier. Shazier has the most beautiful voice.
Apple says, I was at such a low point before the call, so many tears shed. Thank you for the alchemical container. All and you divine women for words of wisdom and communion. So much gratitude. I love the word
Oh.
communion. Thank you so much, Apple.
Thank you.
So we're coming up on our end time, and I just want to close the space in a good way. We want to close the ceremony in a good way altogether. So I'm just going to thank and honor the wheel of life and collect that beautiful net from around the web, and we'll devoke and just come into a still place for ending. Thank you so much to the Great Mother, to all that nourishes and nurtures life. Thank you to the breasts that feed children. Thank you to the bodies that birth life. Thank you to the deities that represent compassion and all-encompassing love, to Hathor. Thank you so much to this body, this vessel, the center, to all of our senses for being with us here at this time, to our ancestors. Thank you for all of our ancestors that have walked in a good way, those benevolent ones that have been connected in communion with the earth. Thank you to the first peoples of the lands that we walk upon, to the places that we sit. Thank you so much to the mountain, the holy temple that is this body, to the waters of this living womb, to our blood, to the fire that is our great illuminator and spirit, to our breath that is the miracle of life, connecting us in every moment to the divine, to the sacred. Thank you to the Holy of Holies, the earthly mother that holds us below, and to the Holy of Holies, the Heavenly Father that watches over us from above. Our circle is now open, but not unbroken. May the goddess go forever in our hearts. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Yeah, so as we all are still kind of here, and for those of you who are still with us, it's nice for us to all close together, and we really want to also just really honor Holly, and really just so grateful, just so grateful for her in our lives as a dear sister, and such a beautiful presence.
I've been here in the corner.
Yeah, and we just
Genius behind the magic.
yeah, and we just love what you do, and we're so grateful that you're giving us the space to create in this way.
Yes.
And that we can create and bring more ritual and sanctity and magic into the world, in our communities, and do this all together for our families. And yeah, just sending this prayer out to all of you, and Yeah, you should, if for any of you that do have Katori pieces already, you should wear them on the call so that you can charge them with all this really good juju. And wear them on the moons, wear them when, you know, when there's sacred, beautiful occasions, and bring those things as talismans and amulets of protection, and, you know, and may we adorn ourselves in consciousness and in beauty, and really create and offer things to the world from that place. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you all for being here. We're so grateful. And this has been kind of in the works for a long time. So I'm so thrilled to finally be offering these monthly moon ceremonies. And
Yeah, and Rachel and I are leading a retreat in Greece in September. And we're just starting to like sort of leak out word of this. There's only 8 to at the most 10 spots, and so it's very limited, and it's a very special little island off the coast of the mainland called Kea or Sea, and we're going to be diving deep into the Venusian waters and visiting the ruins of Apollo, and diving into the elemental practices through the beauty way, and drinking tea and meditating. And so if anyone is feeling called and you know that you're free, it's September 24th to the 30th. We'll start to send out more information, but if you're really feeling called, just email her or I, and we can like give you more information right away, and people can start to hold their spaces, because it's going to be a good one. We're really excited about that.
Really excited.
and if you don't have their email, you can email us and we'll put you in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be doing this every new moon. So, you know, it's so beautiful to continue to weave community and to remember that we're not alone and we're all in this together. And it's so powerful when we can come together and remember together. So yeah, we hope to see you next new moon.
And these are all pieces that are coming out soon. We got to wear them today. These
Yeah.
are gathering the bones.
Venus. This is the Venus
the new
pendulum.
collection.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
Yeah, we're really excited. This is the shield, the shield,
The shield collar.
the shield collar.
What am I wearing?
You guys are the first to see it.
Yeah. These are all
Exclusively.
You're wearing a black pearl Magdalena.
Black Pearl Magdalena. Yes.
Yeah, anyways, we get really excited about our jewelry. So it's fun. It's actually fun to bring this into like our ritual space. It's really sweet and kind of, it's more intimate actually. It's very intimate.
Well, and I love it so much because it's very practical. I mean, I wear all of this stuff every day.
Yeah.
And also it's ceremonial. So it's like bridges the two worlds. I can't wait for the drop. Alara says. I'm excited for that shell necklace I saw. Erica says, love, love, love.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing that right now. I'm wearing a baby version of that one. We have a baby one and a big one.
So fun.
Thank you for the
Thank you
container.
all. We
Thank
love
you for the nourishment.
Love, love, love.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, until next time.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Love yourselves completely and wholly. Worship yourself as a sacred, beautiful vessel on this earth. You deserve every single drop and ounce of love.
Yes.